Alright, y'all, so before we get into this video, let's have a quick fashion show. Because this outfit is giving. This outfit, it is so comfortable, so pretty. The stretch is real. It's definitely swap proof. Yep, it's giving. So make sure y'all click the details below and purchase your outfit today. Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. Y'all can't even lie, your girl looked too good in that outfit, right? Go ahead and let me know how good I looked in the comments below, and make sure y'all go purchase that outfit because it was giving everything. When I put that on, I feel like that girl, and sometimes I don't really be feeling like that girl. So that outfit really gave what it was supposed to be giving, if you feel me. But anyways, y'all, today's video is not going to be long. Pinky promise, whatever that was, I just threw it, but pinky promise today's video will not be long. So I'm going to tell you guys how to decrease belly fat, because I know a lot of people feel like they want to lose stomach fat. Like they say, oh, I just want to lose my stomach. So let me tell y'all the tea. Alright, I'm going to tell y'all the tea, and it's going to be really simple, easier said than done, but hey, I'm finna give it to you. So step number one, in order to lose belly fat, first of all, it's important to know your body structure. Wherever you hold the most weight will be the last place where you lose weight. And I tell a lot of people, you cannot spot reduce. Like you can't say, okay, I want to lose fat here. I want to lose fat here. You can't tell your body where to lose fat, but you can tell your body where to build muscle by a great training program and being in a caloric surplus or caloric deficit. So since we are focusing on losing fat so that we can decrease belly fat, it is essential that you are in a caloric deficit. Being in a caloric deficit will ensure that you are losing the amount of fat for that body fat to relieve on your tummy area. That is the only way that you will get your stomach smaller, by being in a caloric deficit. And most times all the diets that you see out here, the basis of it is being in a caloric deficit, making sure that you're intaking less than you burn out, which results in fat loss, which is going to be key. So in a sense, scale weight has somewhat to do with losing belly fat, but most importantly, you want to focus on making sure that you are focusing on, I'm going to say it over and over again, focusing on being in that caloric deficit, because that's what will get you those results that you want to see. Protein intake, which will lead me into step two. Step two is making sure that you have a good balance between strength training and cardio. I see a lot of people go hard in the gym doing cardio, but one thing that you have to realize is the more, let me tell y'all, let me break it down to you. The stronger you are at your weight, the smaller you will appear. Meaning that 180 full of fat versus 180 with more muscle is two different bodies. For example, me, 180 a year ago me was totally different from the 180 I am now. I look totally different, more muscle, more tonus, and I look way smaller than I was 180 a year ago. Which is very important to recognize that strength training is really key to making sure that you tone up. Most people say they want to tone up, but you can't tone up muscle that's not there. So strength training will allow you to build that muscle, and the more muscle that you have, the easier it is for you to burn fat, which is what you want. So the more muscle you have, the easier it is for you to burn body fat, which will give you that slim tummy area that you are trying to achieve. So that goes to making sure that you have enough protein intake, which goes back to being in that caloric caloric deficit. Make sure that your macros are focused towards your goals. So if you're still wondering, what should my macros be? What is my caloric deficit? I've created 2 videos that will help you figure it out, or I will put in the details below on how to purchase your nutrition plan to request your macros from me. So it's easier said than done, like I said, but making sure that you are sticking to that caloric deficit and a good balance between strength training and cardio. So I'm going to quickly explain what a good balance would be. So for me, right now I'm currently doing 4 to 5 days of strength training, and I may do cardio maybe 2 to 3 times a week. So if you're a person with deadlines, with timelines on how you want to do it, you still want to make sure that you have a good balance. So if you could work your way up to like 20 minutes of cardio, maybe 3 times a week, or 30 minutes of cardio 3 times a week. It's all about creating that balance. But you want to make sure that you are strength training more than you are doing cardio. Progressive overload, pushing your body harder, hypertrophy, making your muscles work harder so that they can build and grow even larger. That way that you have more muscle, which I said helps you burn fat easily. So, last but not least, the one that we all have a problem with is being consistent. This is going to determine where you get within your journey, what body goals that you're trying to achieve, what fat goals you're trying to achieve. You have to stay consistent. One thing that I noticed with me is this stuff do not happen overnight, y'all. I am on year 3 of my journey, and my weight goes up and down. And when you are so focused on that scale weight, you lose sight of how scientifically the body works. So as long as you are being in your caloric deficit, making sure that you are tracking your macros, and everybody does not have to track macros, but being consistent with every route that you take to achieve your goals is going to be key to get those results. A lot of people, I get questions all the time and say, like, how did you lose your fupa? Baby, this fupa's still here, but it's slowly fading away. Why? Because I'm consistent. Like, don't get me wrong, I have my bad days. My bad days are getting up there with my good days. That's why I knew I had to come home from vacation and refocus. But it's all about finding a consistent balance with getting to where you want to be. And that's why I always recommend tracking calories, because sometimes you're just not aware of how much you are eating or how less you are eating. And it's a such thing as undereating. Undereating, if you're not eating enough, what your body does is store all that fat. And that's why you really can't achieve what you want to achieve. Of course, you'll drop a lot of weight because your body's in starvation mode. But what we have to realize is that our body's one big system that works for the best of us. So if you're not properly fueling it, properly giving it the right nutrients, it will start to work against you because it's built to survive. So it's always important to know how much you should be eating so that you can stay aware. And this also goes to when you get to a nice goal for yourself on maintaining it. You still want to know what your body can achieve and what balance that you need to keep the goals, keep the body that you have worked so hard for. So that's why tracking will also be important as well, because you have a maintenance calories, you have a caloric deficit, and then you have a caloric surplus. So it's different things that go into play with this. So like I said, the 3 things that I gave y'all is being in a caloric deficit. If your goal is to lose body fat, lose weight, you have to be in a caloric deficit. Like, no ifs, ands, and buts about it. You could eat healthy food all day, but if it's still too much, then you're burning off, then you're not going to get the results that you want to get. Like, of course, when you're focusing on physical goals, it's a way to get it done. And my way that has worked for many people is being in a caloric deficit, tracking those calories, seeing how much you're intaking on the day-to-day basis. Number 2, having a good balance between strength training and cardio. Purchase a program. It's so many experienced coaches on Instagram that sells good strength training programs with cardio. I have created my own, and that I will leave below for you to purchase. It's a 6-week gym-based, home-based program that you can follow that's solely focused on strength training. It have cardio throw-ins here and there that you complete throughout the week, but it's solely focused on strength training, building that muscle. You want to lose the weight and you want to avoid some of that loose skin. You have to build that muscle to achieve the body that you want to achieve. Not saying that strength training will solely guarantee you that you won't have loose skin, but 9 times out of 10 it will reduce the amount if you have more muscle. Just being honest, because I know after losing 154 pounds, me a couple of months ago, I had a lot of loose skin, and a lot of people say, where is it, baby? When I retract, started strength training more, everything started to fill in a lot more. So now I still have a little bit, but it's not as much as I did a month ago or a year ago. So doing a different program, strength training, really helped me fill in, build more muscle, and get the body that I wanted. Last but not least, be consistent. I would say that number 3 is the most important of them all, being consistent, because every weekend that you overeat, you are possibly messing up your results. Not saying that one weekend will kill your progress, but always keep that in mind when you're progressing. And that's one thing that I had to teach myself. Like, every weekend eating bad, every weekend eating bad, you always have to keep your goals in mind. So if you tell yourself that you want to be this by this time, some of that stuff just got to go out the window. And then when you get to where you want to be, you could kind of bring that back then. But that also goes to the fact of knowing your maintenance calories, still checking your calories to know what you can do and what you can't do to keep that body that you worked so hard for. So even if you are a person that's watching this and thinking about starting, I just literally gave you the golden ticket to get started on your weight loss journey. And there's no one way approach that works best. And when I hear people always ask me, like, how did you lose your food? But I'm not finna tell you I did 1,000 crunches every day, because that just doesn't cut it. You can do 1,000 abs every single day. I learned this a while back, because I was doing like 1,000 or 100 abs every day, and then wondering why my stomach wasn't getting smaller, because it's not about like those abs are underneath. You won't see those abs until you get rid of that layer of fat on top of it, which comes from being in that caloric deficit and having a good program when it comes to working out. Now, like I said, you have a lot of people that don't work out. Y'all work, you have a busy schedule, you don't work out, but you can still achieve goals by being in a caloric deficit on its own. That by itself can still get you goals. Just adding in more strength training and cardio will get you that more, like, help you build more muscle and get that toneness that you would like. But if you don't have time to work out, still focusing on your nutrition will still get you to where you want to be, because nutrition is 80% of your results. You cannot out-train a bad diet. Let me be a living witness of it, because I thought that if I worked out super duper hard and ate what I wanted to eat, I could still get to where I want to be, and that was a lie. The lie detector said you are not the farther. No, you cannot do it. So always keep that in mind when you set goals for yourself and set body goals for yourself, health goals. Always keep those things in mind. Always, before you make a decision and say, okay, I'm going to eat this, I'm going to eat some stuff up, always think about, like, hey, right now, is this going to make me feel better? Because I'm an emotional eater. When I get sad or I get down, I like to throw down. But after that, I still don't feel as, you're still not okay. Then you start thinking about other stuff, and you be like, dang, I just messed up my progress. So it's just a lot that goes into it, but we are human, so do not expect to walk in a straight line with your fitness journey, because mine has been a total roller coaster, and even still today, I'm still trying to find that balance. But that's just learning that this is a lifestyle, so you never get to a point where you just okay, if that makes sense. Well, let me just speak for my point now. You never get to a point where you just like, okay, whatever, I'm good. You always want to work towards to being a better version of yourself. Always want to work towards to build more muscle, get some more self-discipline, and just show up for yourself each and every day. So with that being said, I hope this video was super duper helpful, and I tried to make this as short as possible and give y'all as much information as possible. But I will leave all the details below for you to purchase your nutrition programs or your workout plans to get started on your weight loss journey, baby. Summer is 3 months away. Do not waste no more time. Get started today. Like I tell everybody, you are only one healthy meal, one track meal. Let me not say healthy, because what is healthy? There's no such thing as good or bad food. You're only one track meal, one workout away from being on the right track towards your goal. Don't make no more excuses. Just get up, get out, and do something. Okay? With that being said, y'all already know the drill. Come back and message your girl. Peace out.